All right, welcome, welcome, welcome. We have ARL's 90-minute one-off classic of a mixed GT field. We have signed up a full 10 and 10 of GT3, GT4 cars as we wait for a few more to trickle in. Got an hour of practice before we go into a split 20-minute qualifier. 10 minutes each class. Riding along board with my friend Mr. Peter Dalton, all the way from Australia, my brother from down under. Well, the track's already optimal. That's just pretty good for practice, so they get an idea of what the grip level is going to be like for the race. It's going to be a tricky track. It's all about abusing as much of the curbs as possible without catching a track limit warning. I myself had issues with this track. Was not, still isn't one of my favorites, but a few weeks ago I had a race on PC here and gave myself a wonderful drive-through. But ended up recovering decently well, considering I dropped from, I think it was like P5 or 6 to like 13th. I drove it back up to 7th or 6th, but it's a good track. There's some good passing areas. especially into T1 and in the fast right-hander into the hairpin in Sector 3. So Stevenson has gone P1 with a 37.3. I was watching some practice earlier, so I know there's a couple more seconds left in there as they get their tires warmed up. A few drivers have chosen new to them vehicles, so it's going to be some growing and some learning for some drivers, which is going to add to the excitement. Matt White, sitting P9, is driving the Lambo for the first time competitively. Each season, the last 2 seasons, I believe, as Stevenson gets a little squirrely going into the final sector hairpin. He has changed. Matt, as I was saying, was changed cars each season, so he's really challenging himself to not be a one-car driver, which is exciting to see. I'm that same type of driver. I like to drive different stuff. But here recently, I've really fallen in love with the Porsche, and for me, I know it's not necessarily anything for the PS4 guys, unfortunately, but the new cars come this week for PC, and the new Porsche is one of those cars which I'm really excited to try out. Who else is in a new car? Schmeisik in P6. I hope I didn't brutalize saying his last name, but he's in the Audi for the first time, so that's exciting. See how he gets on in the Audi. I could never get that car right. It was more deadly than the Porsche to me. So he goes quicker with a 30. No, Abbott goes 36.7. So let's check him out in the Merc, which in real life, the AMG GT3 car, which is what we're watching now, holds the real life lap time record with a 1:31.93, set by driver Rafael Marciello. Let's see if he betters his time. Yep, just a bit there. Madge is half a second off. And he closes the gap a little bit as well. Stevenson steps in between in the Murder Beetle. Jackal's in the AMG. He's still picking up the pace. Love delivery. For all the haters, I am a Lewis fan, but I was a fan long before he went to Mercedes. Whatever that's worth to you. That's a good looking Audi. So he's challenging himself in a new car. He's also our current defending two-time our Thursday's GT3 champ. So he's got 2 trophies on his shelf at the house. Coming to see what he can do today in a mixed GT field. As he comes around the last 2 corners to set his first valid lap. So he goes P1 36-1, showing that dominant driving that he's got, being the two-time champ in a new car. Very impressive. Matt goes 1.7 off. He's in the GT Omega Lambo. Very good looking livery. See if Matt betters his time. We have coming back, we haven't seen him in a while, Mr. Dominic Zombie Dom. He's been out for a little while, but good to see him back. He is rapid, so he should be up near the front as well. Also in the AMG, we have quite a few AMGs. Seems to be the car of choice. Both GT3 and 4. Oh, I misspoke. He's in a GT4 car. Still a rapid driver. So Matt goes P1 with a 36.0, turning up the heat. 0.090 off. Really tight at the front. At these times, these are probably race fuel times. So who's in the front? So Peter's sitting P1 in his AMG. Let's take a look at the time. So he has set a 144.1. Could barely see that on my screen. The green is heavily overexposed on my TV that I'm watching this from. Zombie Dom is just under a second behind, and the rest of the field is still working on putting their laps in. And we got best sectors all over the field, so this is going to be a tight one. So all the way to P5 currently, we're all under a second. Still missing a few. Let's see, let's ride along with Mr. Fagan. So it looks like we have the AMG Cup going on, and Mr. Bender goes P3 in the M4 as he pulls off, probably to adjust pressures. Good looking field. So Mr. Jake hasn't set a time, Luis hasn't set a time, Yorkshire is still out there in the Audi, also first time driving the GT4 Audi. And huge props to Mr. Micker. He was in a boxing match, I believe it was yesterday, for charity, and they raised 25,000 pounds to help fight cancer, so top man for doing that. So we have a new leader in practice. Mr. Smysick goes 35.7. About 3.5 tenths up from Matt's time. Thanks all of you for joining and watching with us. So Yorkshire goes 1, 2, 3, 4. He goes P5. So we got a Camaro in the mix. We got Sean in the 99 Camaro GT4 car. Fagan has still yet to set a lap. Let's see where he's at. So he's in the first sector, going into the very tricky double right-hander with Matt hot on the heels in the Lamborghini. And here you can see the pace difference between the two classes. Hendrix, what's up, brother? Yeah, man, I'm back in the booth for the day. Knocking off some of the rust. Oh, excuse me. Let's see if Fagan puts a time up. It looked clean. Unless when I looked down I saw an invalidation. He should be able to put a lap on the board here. Right, so he goes P4. Let's take a ride in Matt's Lambo. Very distinguished V10 sound. You can hear that from a few miles away and know what kind of car that is. It's either a Lambo or it's an R8. Very tricky section, carrying speed into that quick right-hander and then slowing way down for the hairpin. Float that corner, a little wide on exit. All about The curb cut there, nice. Down, down, all over the curb. Cut this. And you got the grass on the left, that's your braking zone there. All over the curb here. Missed that one. There's some time left on the table there in that corner. Still about 10th up. Brakes. Cut all this inside. You're going to hear a lot of that word cut. That's what Misano is all about. It's all about cutting as much of the circuit as you can without getting a track warning. So heavy cut. Needs to cut more on that one. Needs to cut that one too, so it sounds like he's pulled off the lap. So let's take a ride. Let's ride along with Abbott here. He's just under 2/10 up already in the first sector. Hard on the brakes. Oh yeah, little deep, which missed the deep cut on the apex and pushed a little wide. He'll tune that up next in the next coming laps for sure. Ooh. Yeah, it's really tricky. You got to brake into a straight line, just a breath on the brakes to set the front so you can dive the front end into that curb on the right before you go into heavy braking into the hairpin. Just right along with Stevenson here. So we have two controller players, so Stevenson and who we're riding along with now races on controller. As you can see, the steering wheel is doing all that back and forth. That's because he's using a joystick versus a steering wheel, so hats off to him for being able to be near the pace at all on a controller, because I wouldn't be able to even leave pit lane. We have Peter Dalton in the AMG and GT4 who is also on controller and is really rapid at driving that way. You know, Paul's he's racing, he's just taking his time. You know how Gamer does it. Shows up late, like 10 minutes, sometimes with zero practice or a setup, throws some bullshit on the car and goes P1. Little too hot. So we got a couple more that joined in. We got Felix that joined in, and Tro. He's in the Janetta. As per usual, anytime I've seen him in a GT4, it's usually a Janetta. So we have a new guy to the league, Luis. He's in the Honda. Let's check him out. No, I'm using a controller right now for comms. That's about as far as my controller skills go. If I'm not driving it on the wheel. I don't want to drive. Yeah, he could use a little bit more curb there on turns 1 and 2. Yeah, he just needs to abuse more curb. Oh, you got it, Matt. No, I'm happy to do it. This is fun. Good to see the Lambo. The livery looks awesome. And that battle up front looks like it's going to be pretty fiery for both classes. So it looks like Luis has picked up about a half a second. Let's see if he can carry it into this last corner. Carry the momentum. Oh yeah, he did real well. It should be a decent time. So he moves up a spot with a 37.1. Let's ride on board. So Zombie Dom is in the pits. He's still holding down P1 in practice. Let's check out who haven't we ridden with. So Sir Jake hasn't put a lap in. Let's see what he does. Is he on and out? Yeah, he's invalidated. So we'll come back to him. Yeah, he's in sector 2. We'll come back to him in a moment. Let's see where Felix is at. Okay, so he's on a flyer. So he's currently P8. Without a time on the board, so let's see where he puts himself. So he goes P4 with only 3 laps done, so there's some pace with Mr. Felix here. So we still have Tro and Jake. Let's see where Jake... Nope, he didn't complete that lap. Let's just ride on board here. Deep on the brakes. He's still gathering his bearings on track limits and braking zones, which is understandable for Misano circuit. Misano circuit is in Italy. Was opened August 4th, 1972, making it 50 years old. Initially in 1969, when the track was built, it was 2.16 miles long And in 1972, when it opened, it was extended to 2.52 miles with 16 turns, which nearly all of them you have to cut, as we're watching now. Real life lap time record in an AMG GT3 set by Rafael Marciello was a 1:31.939. We probably won't see anywhere near those times, but the ambient temps being 26 air and 32 track, which is extremely hot, and that is Celsius, but I know for a fact that's hot for a track. So tire wear is going to be a definite factor. They do have a mandatory pit stop for fuel and tires during this 90-minute race, so strategy is going to be involved. For GT3 cars, a part of that strategy is making the smart move when you come up to GT4 traffic, which will happen given the length of the race, being that GT3 is around 10 to 12 seconds quicker per lap than a GT4 car, so lap traffic is going to be a thing. GT4 cars do not have to get out of the way. You know, they have their own battles within their own class, so they have rights to the racing line, and it's the GT3 driver's responsibility to make it around that car safely. So Jake's still working out the kinks. So P1 still at 35.7. So he's on an out. He's 2/10 up. He is running the car number 1, as he is, as I said earlier, the defending champ 2 times in a row. But I know there's guys on the grid that want to take him out of that chair. And he goes quicker, 35.55, to extend that gap, to show that pace. It's an intimidation game. But I know Matt's not phased, Abbott's not phased, Majda, Stevenson, they all want that top spot, so they're going to be gunning for him. Still a tight field, because these are all, I'm sure, these are all fuel runs. And what I mean by fuel runs is with race fuel on. So quali should be about a half second quicker. The zombie dom. So the GT4 class looks like it's pretty much just chilling. Churro hasn't even left the pit lane yet. Yorkshire's still working on some setup, and Stevenson's working on his laps as well. Let's see if your Sir Jake has got it figured out to put a lap time in. He's on a lap. He's 1.3 down. Yep, that's right, Matt. Got to keep one in the back pocket. Can't show everything until it's time to show it. The element of surprise. looked down to check Discord, and he invalidated again, so he's still working out some kinks. Like I said, it's a tricky track. I don't know how much experience he has at Misano, but I know when I showed up to Misano for the first time, I was like, this place is not great. You have to accept the fact that going off track is a part of this, a part of the way you drive the circuit. Which it was a hurdle for me to get over. A little late on the brakes and needs to cut more. So that's a decent cut there, yeah. Cut all of that. So he missed that cut. It's like the scene from SNL with Will Ferrell with more cowbell. So more cut. Need more cut. Need more cowbell. So he's pulling over. So here we go. This fella, Mr. Borman. So we have Schmeisik in first place right now in practice, holding a 35.5. He's a two-time GT3 champ on Thursdays. And then we have the XXX Motorsports AMG GT4 car driven by Paul Borman, who is our back-to-back GT4 champ. So he's going to be gunning for a top spot in class. And with 18 minutes to go, in usual fashion, shows up late, just doodling around. British guy, probably got some tea and crumpets. And just gonna go set a lap and show what he's got, his pace. Mega fast, top dude. So it's gonna be really exciting to see what he does against the stacked GT4 field. So we got Choco sitting in third spot. So I think the only two drivers we're missing are the newcomers to the league. Don't know the real names. I know the Discord names. One is Ernie and the other one is Grigori. If they're watching, fire up the wheel, get on track. But either way, welcome to ARL. Glad to have you. Hope to be able to get you on broadcast for your first race, but you know, life comes first. Yeah, gotta stretch, man. Gotta stretch. It was like I turned 27 and I was like, okay, stuff's starting to feel different and hurt different, and I don't recover near as quick. And I need to change the seat in my rig because it's extremely uncomfortable. So Choco is almost... Oh, there we go. About 2-3. There, yeah, there is all the time he was missing. And poor exit. So there's time in that corner he has to sort out. Yeah, it's mega work doing what you do. Especially on your legs and your lower back. I have a bad sciatic nerve I have to make sure I take care of when I'm at work. Alright, who do I ride with here? Let's see. Let's ride on board. Oh, nope. He must have just clicked to the pits, or I wasn't paying attention. Let's ride along with David here. So Dave has found some time in that first sector. A lot of time. So he lost it in that hairpin. Dave is a big-time Beamer fan. You often see him in the M6 GT3 car, which is an old GT3 car and tricky to drive, but he gets on well with it. So I assume that was his decision or deciding factor when he chose his car for this race, which the M4 GT4 car is a strong GT4 car. So let's see if you can put the lap together. Lots of time in the first sector. Yep, stay smooth, stay smooth. Lots of time there. I was going to say that was an interesting line, but I think that was just a minor mistake on the entrance to that corner. Matt's back on track from his stretches as he warms these tires up. So Matt Astral works for a marijuana grow. So he harvests that gas, that gasoline. So you see all the track that Matt's cutting. That's what you want to do at Misano. You want to cut as much as possible without going over the limit. Like that, it's perfect. All of it. This one's a big cut. Yep. Yep, he's 4/10 up. He finds some more time. He's gonna be knocking on. God, for the life of me, I can't remember. Trevor or Tyler. He's gonna shoot me. Schmeisek's lap at a 1:35.5. Yeah, shout out to Matt from Mr. Derek Martin. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. %, that gassed. Yeah, I need to try his gas. I'm all the way in the south, down here in Atlanta. We're gonna link up soon. He wants to go to a Martinsville race one day. I would love to do that. That'd be fun. Correct, Astral. Yep. M White Endgame. We're riding on board right now in the Lamborghini. Yeah, the Lord's gift. Jaw's gift. Amen. That's right. Jaw's gift. You must be West Indian. Big respect. Oh, everyone loves Achieva. Everybody. If they're not, they hadn't tried it or they're lying. So Abbott is 0.033 off of Matt's time. So let's see if Matt can put it together. Yeah, he's on a good lap. Needs to cut that inside, but still gained. Well, yeah. He's still up. Carry that speed. Cut. Yep. Deep on the brakes. I thought that was a little bit late, but he's still carrying. Yeah, a little deep on that. He still may improve, but there's easily about a half second he can find. Just got to put it together. So he gains almost 2/10 on that last corner. So he was about half a second up in the first two sectors and found 2/10 in the final corner. So there's 7/10 on the lap he can find. So he closes the gap and extends from Abbott. Let's check Abbott out. Yeah, it's the AMG GT4 Cup in the GT4 class today. So it's really going to be a test of driver ability and the individual setup. Every driver has a different style. And it's AMG Merc GT4 car is one of the stronger GT4 cars, to be fair. So I understand the choice. I have a GT4 championship in the GT4 Merc when I was on PS4. It was a strong car. So Borman throws a lap up. He's out on track, aka coach. That's what I call him. Oh, and we have Sir Jake spun around in the final sector. Aston Martin's a good car. It is a good car. It may not. You may not. You may be a. You know, you may find you're an MR chassis type of driver. Like I started out in the AMG GT4 car and in the Lexus and the Nissan in GT3, and both were good when I started cutting my teeth, because I started on PS4 a little over a year ago, and then toward the end of my PS4 time, I drove the Porsche one time. We had a one-off Thanksgiving Day race. It was a Turkey Day event at Laguna, and I was like, man, this Porsche is really good. If you gotta be on the limit, and it punishes you if you don't respect it, which I kind of liked. And then when I went to PC, I jumped in the Porsche, and that's just, I love that car. Yeah, the V12 car is tricky. That's much harder than the V8 car. V8 car is much more balanced. So Borman puts it in the pits. He's probably just worried about setting his pressures and getting fuel and all that stuff straight for the race. Not really worried about setting a time. Matt, oh, I missed it, goes 35.3. I missed it. That's a fantastic lap with race fuel on. So all the way to P4 under a second. Yeah, it is a demon. It's a murder beetle. Love the old Porca. So we got 18 on track. We had 20 signed up. The two new guys, I don't think, got the memo this morning. I don't know where they live globally, so maybe it was a time zone thing, and they're new to the league, so catching the alerts in the tags in Discord, they may have missed it. So everyone is in the pits because we're about to go into quali, where GT3 will go first. Here we go. So Abbott's first out. So we're gonna stay here so I can click through the names. Can't click through the names when I hit drive, so I have to use this view. but it'll work. Appreciate the sub, dude. Really appreciate it. My stick is out. Matt's out. Warming them tires up. Jackal's out. Lots of GT3s that haven't moved yet. Maybe a Strat. Alright, as Abbott comes around the final corner to start his first flying lap in qualifying, we got 10 minutes of GT3, and at the 10-minute mark, they're no longer allowed to set a lap, and then GT4s will take the field to set their qualifying order. That's okay, man. That's okay to be biased, man. You got a friend that you watch, you know, and you support. That's what it's all about. That's one of my favorite things about sim racing and the community is the community and the support. And the car goes berserk off the curbs there. Awesome physics model there. So he's in a reset. So where was Abbott? So Abbott's there. Who's in a lap? I think Matt maybe in front of him. Yeah, Matt's in front of him. So he's gonna set the first lap. Oh yeah, the immersion's incredible. I can't wait for some of these. I mean, I'm all for supporting the PS4 guys all day, every day, because you know, it goes to the whole thing. You know, not everybody can afford, you know, a PS5 or a PC or what have you. So I'm excited to see some of the guys that can, you know, move up to PS5 or a PC, because I did a 24-hour race about a month ago. Incredible. So Matt goes. So he invalidated. So he did. No. Sorry. He did invalidate. So we have 36.2 set. And then Jackal goes P2, 1.4 off of that. And there's my bias. I love that livery. Who's next to come around? '67, I think I saw. So Majda's gonna come around next and put a lap on the board. So he goes P2, 6/10 off. Next is Stevenson in the Porsche. A quick reminder, he's on a controller along with P. Dalton in the GT4 class. So Stevenson goes P5. Luis goes P5, pipping Stevenson. And then Matt's coming around. Shoot. And he's going to go P2, 3/10 off of Abbott, who's just went P1. Didn't even realize that happened. 35.3. Who's next around? Is that 999s? Yep. Jackal's going to come through. And he is not going to improve, it looks like. So Sir Jake is still trying to put a lap together. He's going to be the next car through. Let's see if he can put one on the board. Yes, they do have ACC for Series X and S, and if you need help finding a league, I know the league that runs Xbox Series. I race with them on PC, and there's an Xbox side to that league. So Jake goes P4 after struggling in practice, 1.1 off of pole. Really good lap for his flyer. And then we have car 17. Stevenson's going to come through to set the next one. So Steven, I think, yep, did he improve? I looked away for a second. So Matt's coming back through for another. I think he just improved just a little bit. And then Smysek improves it again, going 35.1, knocking on the 34, 1 minute 34 times. Next car through is 999. So Sir Jake, we're going to repeat the cycle again as we approach the end of GT3 quali. Yeah, dude, Derek, let me know if you're in the ARL Discord, DM me or what have you, and I'll get you linked up as soon as you're ready, dude. They're a great bunch of guys over there. So Sir Jake is going to... he is not going to improve. Who just crossed? 67. That was Mazda. Next to come through is Luis in the Honda. Excuse me. He improves one spot. Stevenson's coming through. Doesn't seem to improve. Abbott's coming through. I think he improved a little bit. I missed it if he did. Oh. Is he going to go 34s on him? And he does. 34.7. With hot track conditions. So Matt's in the pits, unable to finish. So the last car through is the 999, so he's going to be the last to take it. So we have Sir Jake, the first to finish. This will be the last attempt, if he can put together and maybe pick up a spot or two. And then after that is Mazda, who is just in front of him in the order. Let's see what Jake can do. So he goes P4. Mazda bails out, so he takes that. 999 was the last car to go through. So as the GT4 cars start to roll out, because as soon as it goes 10 minutes 0, okay, GT4 is live. So the last GT3 car is Jackal. See if he can improve his time as my dogs bark in the background. He bails on the lap. So, GT4 time. Who is the first one out? No. Freaking hard to see. Damn it. The 15. Okay, Jake may be setting a lap that he's not allowed to set. So 174 is the first car to go across. So need to note if Jake improves this lap, that could he's on the out. No, he's going into pits. Okay, good. Did not want to have to hand out a penalty for that. Dude, we're glad to have you, dude. You know, even if you're on Xbox, you know, you can come hang with us anytime, dude. Anytime. Share setups and strat and learn from each other. That's what it's all about. So Dominic's gonna go out. He's on a flying lap now. He's got Dalton behind him, who also is the other controller driver. I actually tried to send Dalton in the number 7 AMG. I tried to send him. I had a spare T300 wheel and pedals. I was going to send it to him, but being that I'm in the States and he's in Australia, the shipping was more than the wheel and pedals. So it was hard to justify that, the cost of shipping, but I would love to see him on a wheel. Thanks again to everybody watching and joining. Appreciate you guys spending the time with us this Sunday. Looks like Dominic is flying in the AMG. Very clean, subtle livery. Next car through is going to be Dalton. And then Fagan, I believe. Yep. So he's going to go, obvious provisional pole, being the first one through. We have a lot more GT4 cars than we do. I say a lot more, but 2 more. I'm gonna have to work to keep up with the cars coming through. Yorkshire's coming through. Then Choco. And then Tro and the Janetta. Great car for this track. Next one through is going to be Dave. So we got, I missed it, but Borman went P1. Another interesting factoid about Borman, in the last 2 GT4 seasons, he has had a perfect pole record on top of winning back-to-back championships. And then we have Felix rounding out the back of that, so he's in sector 2. Next car through is Dominic. And hopefully my TV is not picking up on the mic. Yeah, Pete, I don't know what I said. Yeah, Peter, P. Dalton. Yep, so Dominic goes P1. Dalton's going to come through and go P1. Fagan's coming through. Stays there. Sean's coming through. Borman's coming through. So he didn't improve. 27. Choco's coming through. I think he improved in 246. That's Tro. Tro improves. So from P1 to 4, 5, we're about a second. So Dominic's coming through for another flyer. Does not improve. Who's behind him? Fagan. Then Sean. See if Paul can pick up a couple more spots. Also doesn't improve. Interesting. 27 is Choco. He sits in P3. Tro doesn't improve. Yorkshire. Hazard, what's up, dude? Yeah, it's a good turnout this morning. Yeah, quality is tight. Quality is very tight. See if he improves to try and take the top spot. He does not. Fagan's next car through. He's going to be keen to take a couple of spots himself. He improves, but not by position. 99, 111 right behind each other. They don't improve. Borman doesn't improve. He has got one more to improve that time. Tro's coming through. Hot on Gamers, or Gamer, that's his Discord, or used to be his Discord. Right behind Borman's time. And we got Mr. Micker coming through. So that's the end of quali. So there will be no more laps after this. So Zombie Dom's gonna be first to finish this. Can he improve with Dalton sitting in the pits? And he does. Next through. is going to be Fagan. He barely get. Oh, I think that's an invalidation. 111's on an out. That's not going to count. What can Borman do here? So he goes P3. And Micker is going to be the last to come through. So we got 34.7 set for P1. And I'll get the GT4 time. Should be in the 40s. Can Yorkshire improve it? He doesn't. He doesn't improve. This is your order for your Sunday GT3, GT4 mixed class. And if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go take a piss before 90 minutes of racing. Alright, back. If that quality was any longer, it would be in a problem. But we're good. Alright, so GT4 times. Pole was a 43.44. I mean, look at the spread. Extremely tight. GT3 is a little bit more spread out, but the race is going to be spicy nonetheless. So we're going to hit, oh, as soon as that's available to hit drive, I'll hit drive and go into the helicopter cam for the formation lap. I'm going to pick car 5 so we can get most of the start. Yeah, I'm gonna hit drive and go into helicopter cam and then come back to the garage so we can stay in helicopter cam, and then I can click through the names. Oh, forgot my rum. I need my rum. George, what up, George? Oh, it won't let me return to garage. PS4 things. Well, I'll try and work quickly to get both the GT3 start and the GT4 start as quickly as I can. .90 minutes, 1 hour 30 minutes from green to checkered with a mandatory stop for fuel and tires, and that's for all cars on track. You can see the GT3 class out front and the gap between the two classes with the GT4 cars out back. Still can't return to garage. As soon as it goes green, I'm going to try and return to garage so I can click through. As we come up to the green flag. We are green. Looks like a clean start. We can see the GT4 field in the back. It looks clean as well. Very good start. So it looks like Borman got out front. Let's see what's happening up here. Nothing's changed up here. Stevenson made some moves. As they click through the first sector, the order's going to sort itself. So Stevenson made some gains at the start. Dalton took P1 at the start. Any moves happening up here? Let's go back because Borman's right behind. Matt's 3/10 off. Just biding his time in lap 1. Ooh, a little nose on the inside. He saw the gap, he wanted it. Chose 2/10 off of Borman. Nothing shaking right now. GT3 spreading out. Pit lane is open. So P3 to 4 is in a tight little bunch, with Choco trying to get in the mix himself. So GT3 is spread out already. Matt's the closest to anybody. We're gonna hang with GT4 for a second there until I see some split times. The gaps change or get closer. Leon, appreciate it, bro. Tro's looking to make something happen here. a dive from Choco. I don't think contact was made. I may be wrong. But the AMG is definitely going to have the legs on the straight against the Ginetta. I say that, and the Ginetta's pulling away. Unless he gave him the spot. So Matt's closing the door a little bit. No, he got through. We missed it. That's my mistake. Matt got through to P2. With Stevenson and Jake not far off. So GT4 starting to spread. Choco is 4/10 off. So Choco wants to get in front of that Ginetta driven by Tro. Closest cars on track is Mazda on Sir Jake and the Porsche. Very good start. I didn't see any incidents or yellows whatsoever. Everyone's super cautious and very respectful. Still an hour and 25 to go, so no reason to push straight away. So Foreman is getting close to Dominic. Fagan's pulling on the back of Choco here a little bit. And you can see the pace difference, the map on the bottom right corner, the white dots are the GT3s and the blue are the GT4s, and there's a considerable gap between the two classes. So we're going to have, it's a little bit lackluster right now, not a whole lot happening, but as these cars start coming through the back of the GT4 field, things are going to start to mix up. So everyone is solidly spread out, except for Borman. He's getting close to Dominic again in that corner there, with the leader Dalton just ahead of him. Let's take a ride with Gamer here for a minute as he's closest battle on the field. Getting really close. He's 0.2 off, showing the nose. He's going to go for the lunge into the hairpin. Not close enough this time around. Shows the nose again. Hard on the brakes. Shit shaking right now. Let's check the gaps. GT3 spread out. We got Mazda still 6/10 off of Jake. Still the closest battle to be had right now is Dominic and Paul. Shows the nose again. This might be the lunge. Nope, he waits. Just biding his time. Paul's known he will wait and wait. He'll wait for you to make the mistake. And if there's the opportunity, he will take it. But if you make the mistake, that's just an easy freebie for him. Oh, and he gets the better turn. The drag race down the back straight. Gets him on the inside, going into the hairpin. Gets the job done. Well done. Excellent pass. Now he sets his sights on Mr. Dalton up front. GT3 is spaced out. Our leader has somewhat checked out with a 3.4 second gap. And there's Mr. Matt and that Lamborghini behind. Yeah, he set that up really well. Waited for the mistake into that late apex corner. Got the front end grip to keep the car on the inside and drag raced him down into the fast right into the hairpin. As he starts to pull a gap now. And sets his sights on Mr. Dalton up here, holding down P1 and GT4. Such a cool shot from that camera angle as they fly by. So we got Felix 7/10 off. Oh, we have a couple close cars here. This could get mixy. Wing is right in my way. Now, mind you, Stevenson, we're riding on board is on controller, not a wheel, not a rig. Probably sitting on the couch in a Snuggie with his controller. So everyone's gapped out pretty good except for this battle here. We'll hang here for a minute and see what comes of these next few laps. And if I see a closing gap, I'll jump to that action. Oh, a little wide there. I think Mazda has a better run, closing the gap a little bit there. So Paul's closed the gap to Dalton. I believe setting a quicker lap than Dalton that time by. Best of the race for him is a 43.86. Yeah, he's on the hunt. Paul is on the hunt. The gap is tight. Now we're down to 0.6. Dalton, also the other controller driver, sitting on the couch with a Snuggie, chilling it in P1, and he goes for the same. Oh, and there's contact. There's contact. Maybe a bit late on the brakes by Paul. Got on the inside of Dalton, so we have a new leader, Dominic. Dalton keeps P2 out of all of that, with Tro moving into P3 and Paul falling to 4. So that shook up the order there. Most definitely wasn't intentional, because I know the drivers. But I would say Paul was a little bit late on the brakes there. Paul's definitely going to want to gain that time back. Very rare that you catch an incident like that out of Paul or Dalton. Just the heat of the battle. Yeah, just a little hot. Shouldn't be too much damage. These GT4 cars can take a little bit more bumps than the GT3s can. As we approach the hour 13 mark, we've got GT3 cars lapping the GT4 class now. Then we have Choco right in the draft of that Ginetta, with Paul right in behind him as well. Oh, and he sets him up with the bait and switch. So Gamer gets one out of that. So GT3 hasn't changed. Really cool hearing that Ginetta's exhaust scream off the wall going down the front straight. Paul using all of the curb, sets it up. So the Ginetta's going to be a lot more nimble through that section. Oh, he goes wide. The gamer gets it back. Moves back into... moves... Oh, in the switch. Tro fights for it back. Got the position back. But now he's in the tow. This is a fight for P3. Ooh. This battle's going to bring Choco right up to the back with the GT3 leader coming up. Matt's closing the door with the traffic. You can see the GT3 class coming through. It's going to be interesting. Oh, and they respectfully give way. Oh! Going through traffic has definitely helped Matt as he starts to get close. Ah! Come on. Too spicy on the buttons there. So 4/10 back. Matt's hunting for P1 here. Little R8 on Lambo action. Basically the same exact platform. I find the Lambo a little bit more deadly than the Audi. .310s as they leave the apex there. Some more GT4 traffic. Definitely going to play into Matt's hands here if Schmeisser can't get through them cleanly or quickly. Oh, drive-through for Tro. So Tro picks up a drive-through for track limits. What we got battle-wise? Where's the close stuff? So Tro's 4/10 off of Choco, but he's got to serve that DT in 3 laps time. And Matt definitely got the short end of the traffic there because that helped. That helped Schmeisser put a gap back on him. 2.6 the gap now. Dalton is just under a second off of Dominic. Change the cameras here. With Abbott coming through, GT3. All sort of settled down now. We got Fagan that's close to Felix ahead of him. I feel that for Tro though. That happened to me a week before last. Nothing worse than seeing that DT pop up with your name next to it. As he pops in to serve that penalty now, best to go ahead and get out of the way and try for a recovery drive. So he's definitely going to drop down the order, and Felix and Fagan are going to gladly take that freebie spot. So we got GT4 traffic. Two Porsches, one on a wheel, one on a controller. We're on board with the controller. Car behind is on a wheel. Joe clears his drive-through. Really impressive that he's able to drive like that with a controller. I could not do that. Oh, here we go. I'm messing up. Here we go. We got a battle. This is for the lead. With Mazda coming through on the inside. Oh, and he closes the door. As he doesn't have to give way. The GT3 has to find a way around. Dominic's definitely going to be trying to use this as much as possible with the split, having a GT3 car in the middle between him and Dalton to help put a gap back on him because they were a tenth apart. It's also going to slow them both up and help Borman close the gap as he's 5.5 off. All pretty well spaced out now. This is the closest battle on track. So we'll stick with it for a moment. Drive through for 27. So Choco picks up a DT. This is Misano. Oh, Bender's in the pits, so he's served his stop. first of the pit stop cycles. Wonder if that's going to help him with a massive undercut. As long as his outlap and his pace is solid, he should pick up a couple. Well, I think no, because Yorkshire is 2 laps. Another DT. Felix picks up one. Things come in threes. See how the boys up front are running. Just keeping it cool, keeping it smooth. Saw Abbott coming around in the back of that picture. Yeah, Misano, oh Misano, DT capital of the world. But we want you to cut the corners, but we're not going to define exactly how much you can or can't cut. It's like, oh yeah, awesome, thank you. Yeah, Coda, yeah. So Misano, Coda, Paul Ricard. What else is a DT capital? Now that I think of it, I've actually not even raced at Coda yet. Well, we have a disconnect or something. Something's happening. Oh, he's got some serious ping. Yep, so Mazda's got a ping issue. Dalton pulling up on the back of Dominic again. Yeah, Dalton's ping is usually high as he's in Australia. I don't know where Mazda's located. The ping wasn't an issue earlier, but maybe it could be a location thing, or it could be just localized to him. Oh, okay. Choco's in to serve as DT. As Dalton looks down the inside. All of the track on the inside. Oops. So Dalton goes back to P1 after all of that madness, and Borman starting to climb back up. He was 5.5 seconds back a couple laps ago. Majda is getting close to Sir Jake now. Fagan has served his stop after catching a DT. No, that was Tro. So Fagan's just served his stop. Choco's serving his DT currently. Or he may be taking a stop and then serve the DT after. So Luis is under half a second to Jackal. Ooh. That was close. Oh, Majda had an issue. So they both pick up a freebie there. Borman has closed that 3-second gap in rapid fashion. Interesting line he took into T1. Maja's in Poland. Okay, that makes a lot of, that answers the question. Love to have it, but that answers why the ping was so crazy for a minute there, because you see he's stable now. Let's see here. Oh yeah, by far. I don't know. Still haven't figured out the science on why the PS5 guys can't get at least lap 1 together. So Gamer's looking for it down the inside. He's gonna bide his time. Make sure he knows that I'm here. Yeah, ego chow. Borman's definitely looking to set this up. Showing the nose. Definitely got the run. I think he's going to let it through. He's going to let him by. With P1 coming through. Oh, we did. Oh, we lost. Okay, so Matt stopped for the pit stop. Stevenson, imagine. I think we lost a GT4 car. I'm not sure who we lost there. So Matt is in the lead on the pit stop cycles for GT3. I wonder if this is going to play into the undercut for P1. Who did we lose? Yeah, I think we definitely lost the GT4 car. For the life of me, I can't remember what the name would have been. Stevenson's making his stop. Felix. Yep, yep, yep. So Steven, after the pit stop, is going to come out right behind Matt. Yep, with plenty of room in front of Abbott. So he undercut Abbott at the pit stop. And I believe that's P1 that just went wide. So that's definitely going to play into his hand on the pit stop cycle. Dominic's in for the pit, with Paul chasing down Dalton 2.5 seconds back. Dave has made a stop early, and he's looking to make this pass on Yorkshire into T1, with Matt right behind in GT3. Matt looks like he's moving. He's probably like, all right, fresh tires. Oh, and oh no! Oh no! That's unfortunate. I would have to say that's a racing incident. He had the pass made. He turned in to make the corner. You know, don't know. I had to look at the replay to see how far over the GT4 car was, if he left enough room, vice versa from Matt. It's just unfortunate. So leaders in the pits, excuse me. Jake is yet to make a stop. Maj is yet to make a stop, and so has Luis. Has not made a stop. Dalton's in. Let's see. Okay, he's in. Where's Dom? He's in sector 3. So Dalton's coming out. I think Dalton's gonna hold it. Yep, he will. By nearly the length of the front straight. Yeah, so we had a DC from the GT4 field. P. Felix, he is our defending AM champion on our Thursday GT3 series. So that's unfortunate. He's more than welcome to rejoin and try and continue if he wants. But that's just unfortunate he got DC'd, so that would definitely be any contention is out for that. But if he wanted to race, he could definitely join back in. So Jake has, so Schmeisik has made it out in front of Matt. There's an 8-second gap. Majda comes in for his stop. all pretty well spread out. Sean's in. If I'm a betting man, I'm going to say Paul's going to go for the long first stint. Oh, I would have lost all my money. This is why I don't go to Vegas. So Gamer's in. Where's Dalton? He's in sector 2. That might work. So he's coming into the end, fast right into the hairpin. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. So Gamer's away. Dalton's still coming out of... I don't know. It'd be close. It's gonna be close. Oh, I love an undercut. He's going into T1. Nope, I think Dalton... Yeah, Dalton's got it. Oh, that was close. So Luis is on the long. Choco got the DT, put the car in the box, and has waited. So Luis is your provisional leader with a pit stop to go, with Schmeisik behind 3.5 seconds back. And Matt 7.9 from that. And Stevenson a fair chunk back from P3. But still a solid effort. I believe he started P5 or 6. "24 seconds back." Yeah, that's a considerable gap. Considerable gap. So what's here? 7.5. But Paul's got much fresher tires by, I believe, 2 laps. And probably less fuel. And he's got a comfortable margin to Dominic behind. So Luis loses P1, which he would have anyway come pit stop time, and you can see Matt in the distance trying to close the gap to the leader. See anything close on track. Everyone's kind of just in their own zone here. I imagine he's going to make his stop soon. Or he could just go, you can go too long. If he waits too much longer, he may lose some spots on pace. Being on older tires, and everyone's on, by now their tires are heated up, low fuel, they got their pace back, if not better than the first stint. So he could lose out if he waits too much longer. So close the gap by about a half a second. So we're kind of in the lull point after the cycles. Still have one circling the track that hasn't stopped yet. But as we get towards the final stages, when it's going to start picking up as the gaps close. Yep, so he closed the gap a good bit more. So you can see there's the leader Dalton and Paul behind, and Dominic with a GT3 car in between, which I believe is Mr. Sir Jake. Yeah. So let's check out Abbott. Let's see what his drive's looking like. So he's doing 36s, well 37s currently. His best of the race is a 36.1. And so he dips back into the 36s, pouring back on his race pace. Currently getting into the latter hours of the evening at 8 p.m. The sun's starting to set. What's that do for temp? So track and ambient definitely dropped from the start. I believe it was around the 25, 26 ambient and the 30 degree track temp range. So pace is going to pick up as the track starts to come to the tire. A little wide on exit, that's alright. He's 4.9 back from Stevenson with a GT4 car in between, driven by Tro. A little late on the brakes. Using all the curb, very good. Where's the, yeah, the rain? Yeah, I think it's stateside. Nice and sunny in Italy today. As Tro leaves him the room. Great deal of respect being shown on track today. Only two incidents that I seen, both of which I think were just heat of the moment racing incidents, nothing malicious or ridiculous of any sort. As Abbott is closing the gap at a rapid rate to Stevenson, who's holding down a podium spot. My favorite camera view for this section of the track right here, the little flyby. Oh, and he loses the back end into the fast right. Easily done if you don't break in a straight line. So all that time he built, he just lost it in that spin. Kept it together though, probably hurt the tire a little bit, but he's still moving. Good save. So Paul's closed the gap to 4 seconds. We got Jackal and P8. It's 2 seconds off of 2.7 off of Luis. I think you can just see him there. Luis, that is, in front of Jackal. Down to 3.6 now for GT4. The gap is consistently closing as Paul's got a GT3 car behind. Drive-through for Jackal. That sucks. Again, Misano. Yeah, perfect timing to catch it and go straight in and serve it. That's just about what happened to me the other week. I caught the DT in the final sector, dove off into pit, served it, and I was able to limit the amount of time wasted trying to get back around and serve the penalty. Oh, he's retiring. Looks like he's retiring. That's unfortunate. Oh, he did clear it. He just stopped. He didn't need to stop. He must have thought it was a stop and go. So the GT3 traffic has helped Paul close the gap. So Abbott must have hurt the tire because he's holding a 6-second gap to Stevenson. There's still plenty of time left, 27 minutes. Doesn't sound like much, but when you're in the driver's seat, that's a lot of time to make something happen. Fagan, I think, is got a car for position behind. Nope, I'm mistaken. That's Jackal's GT3 AMG. And that looks like Stevenson about to lap Jackal after serving the DT. So we got 2.3 second gap. This is going to be the next battle here in the next lap or so. Paul gives him plenty of space to save from losing any time. Dalton goes wide on exit. Luis goes wide and then tries to check back into it. That's dicey. That definitely helps out Paul. As the race leader is starting to coming through as well. Beautiful sunset. Now it's on. 8 tenths, 7 tenths back. They got some space behind them before the next GT3 car approaches. Little deja vu from the beginning of the race. Before the minor incident that kind of caused Dalton and Borman to fall down the grid just a little bit, and they have clawed and fought their way back up to the lead of this race. Really cool shot with the sunset there. Insane how smooth he is on controller. You see the wheel move, that's him moving the joystick. Really impressive. I don't think I'm that smooth and I'm on a wheel. As you see Matt, who's holding down P2, trying to make his way. That definitely helped Paul out because Dalton had to turn in late to allow Matt through. Gotta cut more track. Gotta use all that inside curb. Same as this corner up here. Float it in, yeah, very well done. Sets him up for the exit speed. Two-tenths quicker that lap. I think Abbott is closing on Stevenson as well. Yeah, he's brought it back down to 2.3. We could be on for some action here too with the GT3 class. Oh, Dalton goes a bit wide on exit. With GT4 lap traffic just ahead. Bender gets a DT. Abbott's down to under a second. So I'm going to be jumping back and forth here. And they're approaching the back of the GT4 lead battle. Abbott understeers, Stevenson's oversteering. Both running hot into the final hairpin. See just ahead the battle for the GT4 lead. From the battle for the GT3 final podium spot. With 12 minutes to go. Interesting. Both podium fights. One for P2 or P3 on the grid and one for the lead. Stevenson's going to chuck it down the inside. Paul's going to step aside. Didn't have to do that, but that's going to make a huge gap. Oh, that's going to be tight. This is mixed racing, guys. This is how it's done. Shows the nose. Oh, I thought Dalton was braking late. I thought he was going to miss it. That's a part of it. If you show the nose and you get someone to look at their mirror near their braking zone, they miss their braking zone, you can capitalize on a mistake. Typically not made by Dalton, but we are all human. It's just as much a mental fight as it is the physicality of driving the car and the car's physical ability to have pace. I think Abbott's gonna go for him. Oh, he's thinking about it. Porsche's really good in this section of the track. The Merc's got the legs and he understeers through that section. I hate that turn with a passion. As Paul and Dalton have more GT3 coming through. They move to the inside. See how they handle this traffic. Very well done. Oh, Abbott's got the run. He should have cut more. Keep in it, keep in it. Oh. Much better through that time. Oh, Gamers dropped back. Okay, so GT3 traffic coming through. But that's going to slow Dalton up a bit as well. I just missed it. I think I just missed it. Oh man, coming in hot. No, I didn't. Getting spicy for P3, 7 minutes remaining. The final push. Gamer dips into the 43s that last lap. Fagan gets all the way out the way. Oh, that's extremely hot. Yeah, Abbott's pushing really hard, a little bit too hard. Oh, Dalton goes wide. Five minutes remaining. Go. Over under time? No. Oh, they're both going off at the same time. Big cut from Paul. Might as well use those warnings up. It's just this late in the race. GT3s are coming through. Looks like Mazda and the leader. Oh, Stevenson's out of shape. Oh, and a touch. I don't think there was much in the over-under. Oh, no. A little bit of chaos. Everyone's still pointed the right direction. Abbott just got a DT. No. With Jake 14 seconds back, that's surely gonna drop him back into P5. So this should be... So Abbott just went straight to the... So Smisek finishes P1. Matt finishes second. Dalton and Borman P1 and 2 in GT4. So Jake's going to cross the line and take P4. Oh, he's still got half the lap to finish. Where's Zombie? So Zombie's coming through. He's going to take the last podium spot for GT4. Stevenson's still on a lap. He's coming through now. Well done, Stevenson, finishing out P3 for GT3. Those are your podium finishers. We still got Jake coming through. Yep, Abbott's going to finish P5 based on being a lap ahead of Mazda. Jackal's coming through. You got Fagan coming through. There's Bender right in front who's going to finish as well in P16 overall. And then Sean, the last one to finish the lap. And that's going to wrap it up. It's so unfortunate for Abbott to catch a DT that late in the race. He was going to lose that position to Jake regardless, so went ahead and took it to the pits. So here's your P1, P2, P3 for GT3, and P1, P2, and P3 for GT4. Very well done. Great race. Well, I'd like to thank everyone for hanging out with me and watching the race. There's your final order for ARL's 90-minute mixed GT at Misano. I'm signing out, and we'll catch you on the next one.